So in the yesterday's class, we have seen about the differences between the arteries, veins. Okay. Now let us see about the cardiac cycle. So what is this particular cardiac cycle? And according to our what we have studied in the earlier class, so we know that our heart is a four-chambered. Okay. Our heart is divided into four chambers: 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like this, four-chambered heart we call it as. Okay. Four-chambered heart. Now in this four-chambered heart, the upper two are called auricles and the lower two are called ventricles. Okay, so with this knowledge, let us proceed further. Now, what do you mean by the cardiac cycle? One contraction and relaxation of both auricles and ventricles is called one cardiac cycle. Once again, the contraction of both auricles and relaxation of both auricles and ventricles is called as what? Cardiac cycle. Okay, so before we go in deep, so we need to know some terminology. So the contraction phase is an active phase, so during which the upper two chambers are filled with the blood. Okay, so the active phase is called as the systole. So this is what we call it as contraction phase. So contraction, so it can be the auricles or it can be the ventricles. So if it is auricles, we call it as auricular contraction. We call it as auricular contraction. Okay, now when auricles are contracting, ventricles will be relaxing. Then what is the relaxing state called as? Okay, contraction will be the second stage opposite to this one is the relaxation. So the relaxation stage, okay, the relaxation stage is called as the resting phase, diastole. Diastole is called relaxation phase and systole is called as the contraction phase. So if two auricles are contracting, that is called auricular contraction. If two ventricles are contracting, then it is called ventricular contraction. Ventricular contraction. Ventricular contraction. Okay. So when upper two auricles are contracting, lower two ventricles will be relaxing. Then the relaxing stage is called as ventricular relaxation. Ventricular relaxation. Suppose like if auricles are relaxing, then what do we call it as? Auricular relaxation. Auricular. Okay, or we call it as auricular diastole. Auricular systole, auricular diastole. So like these terms are important. Systole means contraction phase. So it can be auricles contracting or ventricles contracting. So diastole means relaxation. Diastole means relaxation. Again it can be auricles relaxing or ventricles relaxing. Okay, now to study the cardiac cycle. Okay, let us go with the cardiac cycle now. So let us start imagining that the four chambers of the heart are empty. So with that concept we will proceed further now. Okay, now this is what we have seen, the four chambered heart of the human being. Okay, in birds and mammals we have got four chambered heart. Upper two chambers are called auricles. The lower two chambers are called ventricles. So already we have told this is the left side, left chamber. We are writing it with the letters by using the letters LA, left auricle. Okay. Then the lower chamber below the left auricle. So it is called as left ventricle. We are indicating with the letters LV. LV means left, V means ventricle. So like that we have got the upper chamber on the right side, it is called as right auricle, and below that the chamber it is called as right ventricle. Now imagine that, so to start with the cardiac cycle, we have to imagine that all the four chambers are empty. Okay, now during this situation what happens? So the upper two chambers, that is the right auricle and the left auricle, are filled with blood. Okay, are filled with blood. Who is bringing the blood? Which type of the blood? Already we have told that veins are meant for collecting the deoxygenated blood. So the deoxygenated blood from different parts of the body, is collected by the veins and brought into the right side upper chamber, right auricle. In the same way, so oxygenated blood is brought by a special type of vein. We have told there is an exceptional vein which is called as the pulmonary vein. Okay, generally veins carry deoxygenated blood, but one vein which is there starts from the lungs and ends in the left side upper chamber, left auricle, which is called the pulmonary vein. Now all the veins in the right side, okay, and in the left side so now when the blood is being filled here, after filling the blood, okay, now a pressure is developed in the upper two chambers. Result of that what happens? So we are told in the earlier class when we have studied about the internal structure of the heart, there are two openings present between the upper and lower chambers on the left side as well as the right side. Okay, so what are these apertures? So we are told it as RAVA. Okay, RAVA, right auriculoventricular aperture. Same like that here we have got LAVA, LAVA, left auriculoventricular aperture. Okay, in these apertures, so we have got specialized valves are present. So what type of valves? So in the LAVA we have got bicuspid valve. Okay, we have got bicuspid valve, which is also known as mitral valve, and in the right side we have got tricuspid valve. Tricuspid valve. Tricuspid valve. Now, whenever the upper two chambers are filled with the blood, okay, a pressure is developed. Result of that pressure, what happens? The valves present here, okay, they open up. They open up simultaneously. Both the valves, that is tricuspid valve on the right side and bicuspid valve on the left side, open immediately and release the blood or allow the blood to flow from the upper two chambers into the lower two chambers. From the upper two chambers into the lower two chambers. Okay, and once the blood is flown into the lower two chambers, immediately the valves close. And already we have told what is the function of the valves? To allow the blood only in one direction. So now the blood is moving from upper chambers into lower chambers. So it prevents the backward flow of the blood. So blood cannot move in this way, in this direction. Only from upper chambers into lower chambers. Only in this direction. Only in one direction the blood is moving from auricles into ventricles. So now the blood tries to come back into the upper two chambers. But since the valves are closed, so they come and hit the valves. Which valves are hit by the blood? So it is bicuspid valve and the tricuspid valve. They are hit with a great force and you get a sharp sound which is called as lub sound. Okay, generally we know that our heartbeat consists of or produces two sounds, that is lub dub sounds. Lub dub sounds. Then when are these lub dub sounds produced? So during the cardiac cycle only, and right from the embryonic stages, during the development of the embryonic stages, 21st day onwards, during the developmental stage, 21st day, okay, during the embryo formation, from then onwards starts the functioning of the heart till the time we die. Okay, so these lub dub sounds are the characteristic feature of the heartbeat. So a heartbeat consists of one lub dub sound. So when are they produced? So during this particular phase. So during the auricles, whenever they contract, they develop a high pressure. Because of that high pressure, the blood is pumped from the upper two chambers into the lower two chambers, and the blood tries to come back again into the upper two chambers, hitting the valves. Bicuspid valve on the left side, tricuspid valve on the right side. Then a sharp sound is produced. So this sound very clearly we can hear it. So generally we know how to test our heartbeat, how to hear the sounds by using a stethoscope. So doctors will be having the stethoscope to hear the heartbeat or to know the functioning of a person, of a patient. Okay, so lub sound is produced during that time. Okay, now both upper two chambers, after pumping the blood into the lower two chambers, now they will be in the relaxing state. So already we have used the word. What do you mean by relaxing state? Diastole. That means auricles are in the diastole. Now next, lower two chambers are now filled with the blood. Now the lower two chambers will start contracting. They develop a high pressure. Result of that what happens? Now the blood moves, okay, into the respective blood vessels. What are the respective blood vessels? Suppose like from the left ventricle, a largest artery we have told. What is that? Systemic aorta. Systemic aorta. Okay, and on the right side, from the right ventricle starts the pulmonary aorta, and they are guarded by two valves. So here we have got one valve which is known as the systemic valve, and here we have got one more valve which is known as the pulmonary valve. Okay, pulmonary valve. So immediately they open up, allowing the blood to flow into the respective blood vessels. Oxygenated blood from the left ventricle is made to move into the systemic aorta, and the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle is allowed to move into the pulmonary aorta. From pulmonary aorta it will be taken to the lungs for oxygenation, and through systemic aorta it will be supplied to the body parts. Body parts. Okay. Now both the ventricles are in a systole, that is they are in a contraction stage. Result of that, the blood is made to move into the systemic aorta and the pulmonary aorta. By doing so, again the blood tries to come back into the lower two chambers, but unfortunately these two valves are closed. Which one? Systemic valve and pulmonary valve are closed. The blood comes and hits the valves. So systemic valve in the systemic aorta, pulmonary valve in the pulmonary aorta. Then you hear a dull sound. Okay, a dull sound is produced, which is called a lub sound. Okay, lub sound. So like this, the flow of the blood takes place from the upper two chambers into the lower two chambers. From there to the body parts through systemic aorta, oxygenated blood, and into the lungs through the pulmonary aorta. So one contraction and relaxation of auricles and ventricles is called as one cardiac cycle. Okay, then how much time is required? So it is estimated that the whole process, this complete auricles contraction, relaxation, ventricles contraction, relaxation, takes place approximately in 0.8 seconds. In 0.8 seconds. Then immediately if you see, so atrial contraction, that means auricles systole timing is between 0.11 seconds to 0.14 seconds. Okay, then like that we have got ventricles systole. Okay, ventricular systole we call it as ventricles contraction between 0.27 to 0.35 seconds, and the total joint diastole means auricles relaxing and ventricles relaxing time is calculated to be as 0.4 seconds. So the total complete one cardiac cycle, the process is estimated to be taking place between, so that is approximately calculated to be as 0.8 seconds. So this is all what we call it as cardiac cycle. So once the blood starts moving into the systemic aorta and the blood moving into the pulmonary aorta, so it is taken into the lungs, okay, for purification, that is oxygenation. Again the blood comes back to the left side upper chamber, left auricle. So like this continuously, and from systemic aorta the blood is made to move into different arteries from where, so it is supplied to all the body parts. And once the blood is moving in the arteries, okay, a high pressure is recorded, and in general, if not only just by using the stethoscope, even by holding the finger on the wrist, so the doctors generally calculate the the heartbeats. So the pulse rate is equal to nothing but the heartbeat. So pulse rate can be recorded, so which is equivalent to the heartbeat. So both are one and the same. So heartbeat and pulse rate in an individual person will be both the same. Suppose like if a person's pulse rate is recorded as 70 times per minute, so the person's heartbeat also will be 70 times per minute. So this is what we call pulse rate and heartbeat. So high pressure is recorded in the arteries when the blood is moving, because so the blood is pumped with a great pressure from the lower ventricle into the systemic aorta.